channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be going through everything that I plan to sew in March. Now, before I get started, I'll just very quickly tell you what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing a Tilly and the Buttons Coco, which is a really nice sort of plain t-shirt dress, and I've made it in this really lovely cotton jersey fabric, which I bought from Sew Your Own Wardrobe in Leicester. It's just a really nice print. It kind of doesn't look like anything from a distance, but up close it's got all these multiple colours in it with the pinks and greens and burgundies and things, and I really like it. It's actually something that I made for sort of spring, summertime last year, but I've got it on with some really thick tights, and I'm just in and around the home today, so I'm not going outside, so I'm not getting cold, so it doesn't matter that it's only 3/4 length sleeves, and if I get a bit chilly I'll pop a cardi on. So, before I get started on sharing everything that I want to make in March, I just wanted to say one thing that I did in my February plans, and I'll put a link in if you fancy seeing it, but one of the things that I did was I made sure I only planned to sew a few things, and I did this because I really get overexcited about what I want to sew, and I make these huge long lists and huge long plans, and I really try to be really thoughtful about it and not over plan too much last month. And I have to say it really worked in my favour. I think I only planned to make 3 things, but also for my 4th thing was to search out some fabric for another garment that I want to make this month, which I'm going to talk to you about in a moment because I haven't actually done that, but I'll talk to you about that in a second. But because I did that, I felt like I really accomplished something because I kind of did everything that I wanted to sew and I got it all ticked off, and actually I did it quite quickly and managed to sew a couple of extra things as well, which was really nice. So I decided to be really thoughtful and careful and make sure that I didn't overplan for March, and I have found this really hard because I don't know if I'm like anybody else, but I just get so excited. I start writing things down and going, oh, I want to make this and I want to make that. Oh yeah, I really want to make this and I want to make that. And so I then had this list of about 16 things that I had to whittle down to 4, which was like, oh. So I have been really strict with myself and I have whittled it down to 4, but I'm hoping that like last month I'll get those 4 things done, and if I do, that's great and I'll be really proud of myself that I've done it, and if I don't, I won't put pressure on myself or beat myself up about it, but I might even get a chance to sew an extra item. You never know. So we'll see. So I haven't got loads to share with you today because it's a bit of a strange month. Now I'm taking part in something called Frugal Frost 2021, which I'm sure if you watch sewing vloggers, you will have come across this already. Now this isn't my video to share with you about my plans for the Frugal Frock Tales. My date for that is the 16th of March, and I will be posting a video then giving you some insights into the ideas I've got about which garment I'd like to make and which fabrics I'd like to make it out of. Now, just in case you haven't seen what this is all about, then it is a challenge that's been set up by 2 really lovely ladies, Sam from Frugalisama and Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and I'll put links to their YouTube channels down below in the description. Now these 2 ladies became friends. I think they're both fellow Yorkshire lasses, and I think they got chatting and decided that would be really nice to do a little bit of a sew along together. And Sam from Frugalisama is really fabulous at posting lots of different patterns that are free so that everybody can access them regardless of your budget. And she decided that it would be really good to do something that was frugal, so a free pattern and use something from your stash. And then they thought, oh, maybe we could ask some other people to get join in as well. And in the end, they've ended up getting, I think it's either 40 or just over 40 sewing YouTubers to join in on this challenge. And now they've opened it up to everybody to say, we're going to make it a competition. So it's a little challenge. It's a very friendly challenge. You need to have a, see, look, I said I wasn't going to talk about it and now I'm talking about it. But you need to get a free pattern, and it needs to be free as in you can download it for free. Maybe you got it free with a magazine, something like that. And try and use some fabric that is from your stash, and put together a garment, and then everybody is going to present their garments on the 31st of March over on Instagram. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please do go and have a look. I'm going to pop up on the screen while I've been talking a picture which shows all of the different YouTubers that are involved in it. So if you fancy having a look at what different people's plans are, maybe getting some ideas of what free patterns are out there, and also I'm going to put up a picture of all the prizes that are available. Clearly Sam and Ruan have been really working hard behind the scenes, because they have put up, they have been able to get a lot of sponsors and things, and people have donated fabulous prizes. So go and check those out. Go and have a look at some of the people that have already posted videos, because I'm sure it'd be really interesting for you to see that, and I look forward to sharing my video on that on the 16th of March. So now I've just talked hugely about this thing that I said I wasn't going to talk about. That is my first plan. I am going to get my Frugal Frocktail dress sewn up, and I'm, like I say, at the moment I don't know what that's going to be, but it's going to be something out of my stash. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go along the knit fabric, but I am looking at a few garments that are with woven as well. I just think that because it's a challenge and I really want to present something that looks really nice, it's easier to fit jersey fabric, and I do have quite an abundance of jersey fabric in my stash, so that's the way I'm kind of going. But for the moment, which pattern I'm going to use, I'm not quite sure. So that's my first plan for March. My second plan, excuse me, frog in my throat, is to make the Deer and Doe Luzerne trench coat, I suppose you would call it, or mac. And this is a pattern that my daughter gave me for Christmas. Now, I talked about this in my last video and said that I was going to search out some fabric in order to make this. It says on the pattern that it's best to be made with either a twill or a gabardine or a coated fabric of some sort. Now, I've been looking for fabrics and I still haven't found anything. Well, I found a few things that I like, but I'm just not 100% sure, because I don't know what colour to go for. And I think in my mind I want to go for a pillar box red coat, but in a plain fabric. I've already got a patterned coat and I really love it, but I feel like I can only wear it with plain garments underneath, and I think it would be really nice to have a plain coat that I can wear with anything. And the really lovely Alisa, and I'm really sorry if I've said your name wrong, I think it's Alisa, from Orchids and Sloths, or Sloths and Orchids, I'm getting it all wrong now, but I'll put her name on the just under here, and I'll also put a link to her channel below as well. She's going to be making the Deer and Doe Luzerne as well, and she's already got her fabric, so she's a step ahead of me. And she's chosen some beautiful coloured fabric, and we said, oh, maybe we'll try and you know, make these up in March. So have a little look at her channel and keep an eye out for her March makes, because she might well have finished this in March as well. So that is my second make. Now, I have been posting a few sew-alongs recently and really enjoy doing them. They're quite good fun. They're quite intense to do, because obviously instead of just getting on with sewing, you're sort of setting up a camera and everything and making sure that you can see what you're doing. But I really enjoy it, I really like it, and I want to continue to do that. And I have in mind something that I'm going to do as a sew along for March, which I'll show you in a moment. But I can see that this is possibly something that might be a slightly longer term project. It might take me 2 months as opposed to 1 month. And I just wondered whether or not any of you would be interested in seeing this as a future sew along in a month or two's time. And if it is, then do let me know. If you are interested, what I will probably do is go through the process of choosing the fabric, the size and everything. So let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see this as a sew along. Won't take offence at all if you're not interested. It's just an idea. So with that in mind, I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing as my sew along this month and my third plan for sewing. I am going to make the Closet Core Cali Shirt pattern. Now, there's a lot to say about this pattern. So I have been consulting my children because they are obviously gurus in fashion and know everything there is to know. And I've been asking them about what style they think I should do this in. Now, the Closet Core Cali Shirt is a shirt dress, a shirt, or a tunic sort of style. So it comes in 3 lengths. It just shows it in 2 here. It comes as a short shirt or a dress, but on the back you can see it has 3 different lengths, so short, medium and long. And the options with this is huge. The first thing you need to know is it's quite a relaxed style shirt. It doesn't have a set-in sleeve, it's a grown-on short sleeve. I think possibly there is an add-on pack. I might be imagining this, but I'm sure there's an add-on pack to be able to make this with long sleeves if you want to, but I don't have that, so I will be making it with the short sleeves. Right, I'm going to try and tell you the options as quickly as I can. So, it has a high-low hem, I think you can see that on there, and it sort of comes up at the side, sort of a side split on each side, which is really quite nice. It has a grandad style collar. Now, grandad style collar is something that I used to call this when I was really young. It's probably got a different name, but it's basically almost like a collar, but without the pointed collar that comes down. It then has an actual collar choice as well. You can do it so that it has a button placket that is exposed and comes all the way down so the shirt can fully open. You can do it so that it has a button placket that comes down and can fully open, but it has a pop over placket so that the buttons are concealed behind a flap of fabric. You can also do it, hopefully, I'm trying to get this so it comes in, there we go, it comes into view. You can also do it so that it is a button placket that only comes partially down the garment and the rest of the garment is one sort of piece. And obviously you've got the pocket option. You've also got the option between different pleats on the back. So there's this one, which is a like a box pleat, and this one here, which is an inverted pleat. So, whew, right. Well, so a lot of options and a lot of different styles that you could do with just that one pattern. So fabulous pattern to have, I have to say. Now, I have made this only once before, and I made it for my eldest daughter. Oh no, I've made it twice, but both for her. I made the short version and I made it with the pop over placket with partial buttons, and then the rest of it was all, you know, one piece. And I made that in a chambray and it was really pretty. I made it with sort of like a floral undercollar and things like that. And I've also made it in a lightweight viscose fabric as the dress, and that's like a nightshirt for her. She wears it as a nightshirt. So, a couple of things to say about this. First of all, my daughters think that I should make the one with the collar, like the pointed collar, which is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to do it with the button placket that comes down and it is exposed and comes all the way down so the whole shirt can open up. I am going to make the short version, but I'm going to change it because I don't really want to have the high-low. I want to have it so that it is the same length at the front and back. Now essentially it sews together exactly the same, it's just I'm going to adjust the pattern pieces ever so slightly so that the front and the back are exactly the same level when it's sewn together. Basically, I think it's a really pretty shirt, and I think that it's quite a relaxed style and looks really lovely, but the short version is so short at the front that it comes above my tummy, and I just am not comfortable with that. I wanted to come down to sort of around about midway down my hips. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, okay, so that's my sew along plans for this month, the Cali shirt. But I now have two different options of fabric. So the first one is the fabric that I bought such a long time ago. I bought it from Guthrie Garney when I went to Sew Girl, which was a couple of years ago now. And I got it. I feel awful because unfortunately I cannot remember the name of the lady, but there was a lady that I met there who had on the Cali Shirt in this fabric that she bought from Guthrie Garney. And then when we went to Guthrie Garney, I saw the fabric there and thought, oh, I'm going to get some of that because it looks so nice. And then she was stood next to me when I was actually buying it. I felt really embarrassed. I was like, oh, sorry, I'm going to copy you. So I don't know what the composition of this is, but it is some sort of cotton. It is quite stiff and it is going to crease really, really easily. It's sort of an off-white with a grey sort of grid going through it, and I really, really like it. I think that this would be quite a casual sort of weekendy sort of shirt, something you just kind of throw on. I also think it would look quite nice if you had like a little vest top underneath and you just had this on over the top of it. I just think it's really nice fabric, and I am going to sew that with a pointed collar and, you know, the extended length at the front, like I said, and with the exposed button placket. I just think that'll look nice, and I probably will put a pocket on it as well. And I quite like it. I think those colours suit me. I think that would work really well. So yeah, I'm really excited about making that up. Although my middle daughter has said, oh, can I have that fabric and can you make me that shirt? But I don't think I've got enough, and I dibsed it first, so I'm going to be making it. So that's the plan for that one. However, I am debating between that and this fabric, which I'll get it the right way up. See if you can see this. This is a extraordinary lightweight, oh, it is upside down, isn't it? Lightweight, is that the right way up? Oh, I think the dogs go both way. Lightweight chambray, and it's got these little Scotty dogs on it. If you can't see that properly, I will put a picture up on the screen. But they're tiny little sort of silhouettes of Scotty dogs with red bows on them. I mean, I'm not particularly for or against Scotty dogs, but I just really like the fabric. And I don't think you can tell that it's particularly a Scotty dog. It could just be a polka dot from a distance, couldn't it? And I'm really tempted to make it in this as well. Now, I bought this fabric a long time ago from Like So Amazing in Bristol. And I bought it, again, another copycat situation. But when I got there, the lady that owns the shop, called Sarah, had on a shirt made out of this fabric. And it just looked absolutely gorgeous. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get some of that. So, in fact, I think she had it in a different colourway. So I didn't quite copy her. I got a slightly different colour, so I don't feel quite so bad. And if I did the Cali shirt in this, I am wondering about possibly doing the one with the small collar, like what I keep calling the grandad collar, because I think that would look a bit different and I think that would be quite nice. I might even do both, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that as a sew along, but I think I'm going to be doing this one as the sew along, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. So that is my sew along plans and my third plan of the month. The next thing that I'm going to make is something for my husband. Now, this is for the gentleman that commented on one of my videos and said, come on, don't forget us men. So this is for you. I'm going to make this for my husband. I'm going to make him the McCall's M6044. Now, I've made this shirt before. It is a really, really nice shaped shirt. It is really easy to sew, and it's just a really great sew. I've made it for him a couple of times. I've made it in a short sleeve version, and I've made him a long sleeve version. I think I've made him a Christmas version. I have made him other shirts from different pattern companies, and this is the best fit and the best one for him. He really, really likes it. So I'm going to be making him a long sleeve version, and he has said he doesn't want the yoke across the back, but I'm still debating that at the moment, because you can sew it I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the screen there, but you can sew it with a yoke on it and you can sew it without. So I'm not 100% sure yet which one I'm going to do. I suppose I ought to do what he wants, and that is without the yoke. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. And the fabric that I have got is a fabric that I bought from John Lewis, and it is a really nice cotton fabric with this, it's like a denim-y colour but with like a little white polka dot all the way through it. And I just think that it's just a really nice weight, and I think that will look really smart as a nice shirt. So yeah, so I'm going to be making that for him. So that is everything that I plan to sew in March. However, I have one more sewing plan that I'm going to do in March, and that is I am going to find some time, whether that's a weekend or a quiet day, maybe when the girls are all, you know, schooling and what have you. I'm going to take out all of my fabric and give it a good sort out, because it's all a little bit pulled about and all over the place. My girls have got involved in sewing, which you will see next week when I share with you my makes from February. They've got quite involved in sewing this week, and I went to work, and when I came home they had pulled out all my fabric and gone, "Mum, can I use this, and can I use this, and can I use that?" And I kind of did a, "Oh no, leave my fabric alone" moment, and I've kind of put it all back, but it's all shoved in. So I'm going to have a really good sort through my fabric. My patterns are quite well organised, and I'm going to give my machines a really nice clean and get them all sort of refreshed and all nice and all ready for whatever project I'm about to take on. So that's everything I'm planning in March. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you look forward to seeing some of those things in March when I eventually share them. But let me know what you're planning on making. Have you started thinking about different season garments now that the new season is sort of around the corner? Are you thinking about warmer garments? Let me know in the comments below, because I always love to hear what you have been deciding on sewing or what you have been sewing. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you there. So I hope you're all having a good week. You all take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.